Hello, my name's Neil from GCalToolkit.com, and today I'm going to take you through some of the features of my free Chrome extension GCalPlus. So GCalPlus, once you've installed it from the Chrome Web Store, you'll find the little blue icon up here with a cross in it. And the first thing you're probably going to want to do is just start enabling some of these options. So I'm going to go through them one by one. Let's first of all display the titles on hover and more events in the month view. So I'm going to refresh the page. And you'll see now in the month view, I can actually get at least 12 all-day events here. If I go through now, and also scrolling, we now scroll on the page instead of going backwards and forwards for a month every time you scroll up and down. That's this option here. Use left and right arrows and disable month scroll. That's automatically activated when you click show more events in the month view. So that's quite useful. You've still got 9 more if you need them, but you've got much more space here to look at all these events at the same time. And you can see also now you can read the entire title. If it's cut off, you can still actually read in the pop-up. So next we've got Alphabetical All Day Events. So once that's activated, you can see that everything here has reorganized itself and it's now alphabetical regardless of the calendar and the color. So more all day events, that applies to the week view. So if I go into the week view here, I can actually expand a little bit here if there's some hidden, but if we go to a week where there's a lot more, like here for instance, so normally, without this option, the maximum you would see would be about half the page, and then you have to start scrolling to see through, which is okay, but with this option, as you can see here, I'll turn it on again, more all-day events, that goes right down, so you get a good deal more of your all-day events showing in one screen there. I'm going to keep going here. Expand overlapping week events. So if I go into a week view that has, let's find some overlapping events. Well, I can just make one here, so it's probably going to be quicker. So if I just make an event here, and another one at the same time. So usually they're going to be squashed up like that, and if I had another one, for instance, now you can see what's happening there, it's expanding it. So for instance, if this title was actually a lot longer, that would allow me to read the entire title, and you've also got the pop-up if you need it, but that's quite useful when you've got a lot of events that are overlapping each other all at the same time. Here we've got hide event illustrations, so you'll have noticed that if you type, for instance, a yoga event, the pop-up will have a nice, well, normally it would, but I've activated that as well. So if I turn that off, you'll see that the yoga event actually displays, let's refresh the page, that'll display a little illustration, and there's no way to turn that off yet, so that's fine unless you're going to Reading and then you wonder why you've got books and things. So what you do is you enable hide event illustrations and you're just going to Reading. Here we've got large dots and small weekday numbers, so especially if I go into the weekly view here, as you can see, or even the daily view, this option collapses the size of the header here, so again you can fit more onto your screen. And also in the monthly view, you'll notice that these dots, actually if I turn that off again, the dots have got a little bit bigger. If I turn that off and refresh the page, we get very small dots, so that's a useful option. to make everything a little more visible. We can also add create event to year previews. I'll cover that in a minute. And we can color timed events. For instance, I can have timed bars with black text for all my timed events. So there we go. Or white text, obviously. And the final thing I'm going to show you here is hiding hours that really should be hidden. So that's sometimes you'll notice there, sometimes you have to either click the header of the page or refresh the page for the more events in month view to work, in particular if you're using hide event illustration. So if you turn that off, then we get the full display. So if I set that to, for instance, 7 in the morning till 10 p.m. and then in the week view, that'll now actually hide these events. So 7 a.m. and it finishes at 11. I can't go down 10. So I can't go down to 10 past 10 p.m. here. However, if it'll only hide evening hours if they would actually need to be scrolled, otherwise they won't be hidden. So also here you'll notice a dotted red line. This indicates that events are hidden actually, that we can't see before 7 in the morning. So if I go and change that and go back down again, then you'll see events appear that are very early in the morning. So that's why we've got the dotted red line, just to warn you. So, and there we go. If you authorize GCalPlus, then you should be able to see, for example, if I activate month show busy dates and refresh the page, then this will show busy dates on the primary calendar highlighted in red. Another thing that I'd like to show you here is the multiple copies. So for instance, let's go back into the month view. So if I take an event and I click here, I've got multiple copy. Now I did have to authorize here first. So if you're not authorized, you must click Authorise GCalPlus and just follow the instructions to authorize GCalPlus to operate on your calendar. So once you've authorized correctly, you've got multiple copy appears up here in the options menu for every event. And I can now copy that. We're in December here, so let's go to, and it's 2017. And I'm going to copy that to the 2nd and 3rd. So I just copy, and here, any second now, we've got our 2 new events being copied. So that will also, if I create another event now, for instance, and I give it a color, I'm going to give it a custom color, and I'm going to set it to free and private. And if I save that, in fact I'll call it free private, and we will see that it is actually green with a little edge. So here we go, we've got a little edge here that corresponds to the color of the actual calendar, and then the event itself has been colored green. So if I go to multiple copy that, and I'm going to do it to the same 2 days, that will actually copy it as it is here. So those should be green, and I'll just refresh the page so we can see those. So here they are. I've actually probably got the alphabetical thing on. So here we are. We've got the 2 copies, and if I go into the details for these events, you'll see that they're free, private and green. So that actually preserves everything. The description too and the location too will be copied. If it's a repeat event, then it will only copy that occurrence of the event. So I hope you found this useful, and please don't hesitate to get in touch with me if you have any questions about the Chrome extension.